Welcome, my beautiful friends, to Waking Up to the Movies! Woohoo! Who's waking up tonight? Great. I'm serious about this. All day, you guys probably walk around with this like standard assumption that you're not awake and it's not going to happen. We just are habituated in that pattern. How about for tonight, you hold the awareness through the whole movie to the extent that you can. I am awake now. I am awake now.
I don't have to get a plane flight to India.
No, you don't have to go to India. You don't have to go to India to be awakened. So, a lot of new people here tonight. Well, a couple, not a lot. But the One Who Wakes Theater is packed. So, about waking up to the movies. This is not so much about watching the movie. Take at least one step back in your consciousness and watch your mind watch the movie. What you want to start watching for within your being are what are your judgments? What judgments do you have about characters in the movie? What judgments do you have about the things they do or the things they say? Because your egoic consciousness is held in place largely by your judgments. Your ideas of right or wrong, your ideas of should or shouldn't, your ideas of appropriateness or not appropriateness. Because if you ever look within your consciousness, you'll identify that those are my beliefs. And the beliefs are really irrelevant, but the beliefs are the trick that the ego plays to hold that me solidly in place. So look tonight as you're watching the movie, and this movie has themes about money, themes about sex, which are two of the big ego blocks, sex and money. Your favorites. I love having you on the front row.
One of the most taboo questions you could ask somebody is it has to do with money or private parts of the anatomy. Those are the two questions that are really taboo to ask somebody.
Would you like to ask either of those questions of me? Because I don't care.
Okay, how much money do you have in the bank?
Probably maybe $3,000.
I'm waiting for the body function.
Well, I'm waiting too.
Okay, how big?
Big enough to get the job done. Anything else? I have nothing to hide. I don't take any of that personally. If you guys think that I think this body is mine, you'd be mistaken. So, but this is the kind of stuff. Look at where you're private. Look at where you have your preferences and your beliefs that you feel like you need to protect. Hey, Duncan, good to have you here tonight. So that's the kind of thing. Step back in your consciousness and watch. Look at what's going on there so you can recognize where you have those, because it's all that stuff that's keeping your egoic consciousness coalesced, so to speak. And in forgiveness, we decide to let that stuff go. We let go of all these judgments and preferences and beliefs. And most of those, if you look within your consciousness, they're not even yours. Rarely did you come up with an opinion of your own. We adopt them from everyone else throughout life. And it starts before we're even out of the womb. We're hearing, we're feeling, we're experiencing. So most of those things are just adopted from the dream state, but we personalize them and make them ours. So watch your mind, watch the movie tonight. The movie tonight is called The Guitar. This is about a gal named Mel Wilder who gets a chronic or a terminal cancer diagnosis, and she has like 2 months to live. So we can take our spiritual path, we can move through it consciously, willingly, or the universe can kind of arrange situations and circumstances to bring us to a place of surrender. And you're going to see that she moves into the place of surrender without bitterness and starts to be transformed in the recognition that she is absolutely helpless to do anything about her condition. She moves out of a life that she thought was hers, drops everything, and spirit starts to move her. And there's no overt spirituality in this movie. And especially when we get on a path and we start looking for inner guidance, we really struggle over, am I hearing it right? And discernment's a big deal. Spirit's been moving you your whole life. It moved you through the whole course of the universe to get you in this room tonight and where you're going to be tomorrow. So it's always there and it's always guiding. The question is, how aware are we of it? But the very nature of God is creation. That's what we, as the Son of God, as God itself, do. We create across infinite dimensions in infinite numbers of ways. And we're going to see how the Spirit is going to resurrect within Mel a long dormant desire that she had to create and to extend love. And you're going to see that it was there in her childhood, and you're going to see the way parents and society poo-pooed it and poo-pooed it and poo-pooed it and poo-pooed it. But the Spirit's going to resurrect that in her and then give her an outlet for that expression. So like usual, I'll pause it and I'll shift your point of view, maybe from what you're seeing on the movie, to kind of look at it through unified consciousness. And that's what you can start doing when you go out into the big dream, into the big movie. It's not when you walk out this door, stop. What you're hearing me do with you here is what Jesus did with me, or my inner divine did with me, to lead me to awakening. You have that same source within you, no matter what you call it. It's the same thing, whether we call it Jesus or the Holy Spirit or an Anteriaman or an inner divine, or the spirit of your Aunt Mary or whatever. There's an inner guide within each and every one of us. And it is only by following that inner guide that we're going to get home. If you're following some guide outside of you, you've effectively given all your power away. So, nonetheless, sit back, relax, watch your mind, watch the movie, and wake up. If anybody does wake up during the movie, I'll probably know, but if by chance I don't, raise your hand, stop, we'll have a party. And the movie won't matter because you'll have more to share with us than we can get out of this movie. So, with that, does anybody have any questions before we get started? We may or may not do an intermission tonight. It's an hour and 30-some minutes. I'll just kind of feel how it goes. So, Cindy, if you'll help me with the lights. Hey, Pam. Welcome.
Hey, Pam.
Once there was a girl who walked straight, yet she was truly lame. She walked upright in new boots, yet I tell you her feet were bare. She lives forever, yet she lies buried in a vault of fertile air. And if she, shaken from her torpor, should rise to write, what would she write? How are you feeling? Still feeling crappy. The biopsy doesn't look good. Melody, I'm very sorry, but it's cancer. Laryngeal. And it's inoperable. The tumor is malignant and it's growing rapidly. It's causing an obstruction in your trachea and larynx. will happen? Most likely you'll lose your voice first, and then as the cancer progresses, you will find it increasingly more difficult to breathe. How much time? I would say from the looks of things, you have perhaps a month or two. Is there anything? You need to go home, get your affairs in order, and then you come back here tomorrow, and we're going to set you up with a counselor, okay? I'm sorry. Thank you.
cái chữ bảo à, bây giờ nó luồn giờ cái bảo nữa cái đó có lại viết từ lắm chữ à còn kỳ bao lâu câu không chữ mà cái hỏi thật cơ mà cả ngày đó cá tay mà cái hầm bao lại hey, I'm driving me nuts.
Hi, Melanie.
Mr. Faddis, I'm sorry I'm late.
Listen, you're being downsized.
What?
Fired. In that envelope is your severance pay.
I've been here for 4 years.
4 weeks severance pay. That's 1 week for each year you've been with the company.
I don't understand.
4 weeks is plenty of time to find a new job in this environment. Good luck.
Oh my God, can you believe the nerve the very first day? All he wanted was a horse.
I'd like to make a collect call, please. The Brett White. My name is Mel Wilder. Hey, Brett, it's me. You know, I don't have a cell phone. Well, yeah. No, I think they're a big waste of money. Listen, I need to see you. I can't tell you on the phone. Brett, please. Listen, I have to see you. Later is kind of tough. 20 minutes, bye.
Mel, I'm glad you called. I've been thinking, if I really, truly loved you, my therapist said, okay, I need some time alone. I need some space. I'm feeling suffocated. And not me personally, but my life force. You understand? Honey, I think we need to take some time apart. It's time for me to look for my inner child, to discover who I really am. It's been a hell of a day.
So life has thrown her a big curveball, and it's wiping the rest of it. Took care of her job. Now she went for security at the job, no security there. She went for security in this relationship, no security there. So the Spirit is taking away everything in her life that was form-based, worldly-based, all of her idols, and saying, nope, there's no security there, there's no security there, there's no security there. You heard her talk about, when she was on the phone, she didn't believe in cell phones because she thought they're a waste of money. It is unbelievable how much we have within our consciousness around money and the whole belief in lack and scarcity. That's part of the whole thing of this crazy dream of separation, is based on lack and scarcity. Our true nature is so infinitely abundant, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's inconceivable how abundant we are in truth. But we find ourselves and we misperceive ourselves to be body minds and individual bodies, and we get rooted in this whole culture and this whole world of this vibration and beingness of lack and scarcity. And you're going to see that come up in this movie a couple of times. So here's our first miracle. From a decision seemingly to end it all with a razor blade falls off and happens to fall on that ad. There are no accidents, by the way. The best of living. She's contemplating death, and the Spirit is trying to show her, no, there is life. And it falls down on that page, and the Spirit starts working in her mind, and we'll just see where the Spirit takes her. It's a big point on any spiritual path when we're ready to pretty much say, everything I've ever known, I've never found lasting happiness and peace in, and I'm ready to try something new. So she turns, she leaves the door wide open, throws the keys away, pretty much leaving everything she's ever known behind. She doesn't know it, but she's being guided on a path that's going to heal her, but she doesn't have a clue, but she's following that inner guidance. Because at this point, she figures, what can I lose? But it's a big step, whether it was Jesus' 40 days in the desert or Buddha under the Bodhi tree. When we throw away, and you don't have to throw it away, but when within our being, when we're willing to completely let go of everything that we think we know, everything that we think we need, and that we cannot find lasting peace, happiness, enlightenment, awakening, whatever, within the context of what we think we know already.
Well, why would you call Richard? Because he's pathological. Listen, I'll call Jiggy and I'll get back to you. Because I'm with someone. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye. Miss Wilder. Miss Wilder.
Mel Wilder.
Ah, Manny laughs. What's wrong with your voice?
Laryngitis.
Laryngitis. Well, now you understand this is a short-term rental.
Short, long, a relative.
Yes, but this one is short. It's actually kind of a unique sort of New York style situation. Short term, as is, leave the place as you found it. Pretty unique. And you don't want to see the loft.
It's perfect.
All right.
Just a minute. Who is it?
Hi, Melanie Wilder? Can I come in? Just moved in here, huh? Melanie Wilder, right?
Melody.
Ah, Mr. Lass, he saw him the other day and he told me that you just moved in, so I figured I'd save some time because I was doing an installation downstairs. And I figured usually it takes 4 to 6 weeks for a residential. Get you set up today and you'll luck out. You just moved in, right? Ma'am, are you okay? All right, look, you're going to get a new phone number, so that's good. You want call waiting? Call waiting's a good thing.
I don't.
We also have DSL special if you want, or you can get call forwarding or caller ID. Or, no? Okay. You know what? I'm going to leave you with this phone we have. It's a promotion. You get a free one. Don't ask me. I don't make the rules. Corporate sends it out, but you know, if you don't like it, you can always just set up your own phone there. What, are you just waiting for the furniture today, or? Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to leave you with these phone books. Just put them right there, and I can just get you to sign this. I'll be on my way. Just.
I want an unlisted number.
Yeah. It's no problem. All right, look, why don't you just take this. Take care of yourself, all right? Have a good day.
So here's miracle number 2. The phone guy shows up. It's supposed to take 4 to 6 weeks, but he just happens to be there on like the first day. But what you're going to see is this apartment is the symbol of her turning within her being. She's not going to leave this apartment for the rest of the movie almost. She turns within her being, and you see she's there, nothing there. It's just empty. She's having to go within and look at what's there. And Jesus has got a thing in the Bible about going within the closet. You know, almost every spiritual path talks about the kingdom is within or heaven is within or whatever. But this is the symbol of she's kind of turned away from the world, from all the outside distractions, and is left with nothing but this emptiness that she's going to go within.
Hi, I'd like a delivery. What are your specials? Golden beef happy family. I'm veg. You know what? I'll go for the golden beef happy family. Oh, what does that come with? Spare ribs. Okay. Hi. I'd like to order a bed, please. Mm-hmm. What's the best you carry? Vera Wang. Okay. I'm gonna trust you on that. What size? I don't know, I think a king? Yeah, I'll go for a king. Okay, I'm just gonna get my card. Return to the womb. I could do with that. My card is 70262437.
So here we go. There, the first thing she starts, oh, I'm a vegetarian. No. And the Spirit is starting to guide her to let go of all these things that she's been identified with. Because we make those choices to be vegetarian or not out of an individuated consciousness because we were told it's that way, or we have an individual belief that it should be that way, or any of those kind of things. So the Spirit is taking her to her edge of who she is and kind of pushing her beyond it. Now, she's come to this apartment to die. She doesn't know that the Spirit has a plan to wake her up. But she's come thinking that she's going to die. So you'll see here again, she's by herself. Why wouldn't she just get a smaller bed? But you're going to see that this big bed is going to come in very handy later on. And of course, it's called Return to the Womb, about returning to innocence, returning to that place before we were mired in the dream of separation, cleaning out her mind.
Hey. Next time, he's not going to let us put it on his
That
account.
is a cycle. If we'd stayed in our
It
old
was
place,
a room. One
honey, it was a
room.
room we could afford.
Dad, Mom, can you get me that red guitar for Christmas?
Christmas,
Tired.
honey. Christmas isn't something to indulge in
Now
right
it's
now.
gonna take that crap to make her happy.
Don't start. Did you put tarragon in this?
I did.
This is overcooked.
No, it's not.
So she's taken out the trash. Our minds are full. Our whole identity is coalesced around a bunch of thought-based beingness. And what she's doing here is she's throwing the trash out. Not caring where it goes, not doing it proper, just get it out, get rid of it. Throwing her clothes out, the whole bit. You know, her naked there is an important scene. You've heard in the Bible, of course, stand naked before God. She's been stripped bare. Everything she thought she was, everything in her life has pretty much been taken away. She's followed the guidance to kind of turn within to a place of emptiness. And when you find that place of emptiness in your consciousness, your body, mind, ego will want to run from that void because it senses there's nothing there. It knows death for it remains there. But when we turn to it and we stay there and we don't leave, we come to know what first appeared to be this vast abyss of nothingness. You're going to see is going to come the ground of her own resurrection, the very ground of being. But we're so scared by that void that we don't want to go there. Now, the situation and the circumstances have been such that it's put her in that void. And as you can see, she's not leaving. But the Spirit's working on her not only during the day, but in her dreams at night. Because you're going to see this dream sequence about the guitar is while simultaneously resurrecting this creative impulse within her and showing her where she picked up all these concepts. And just in that one exchange with the parents, I could feel in the room judgments arising about, oh my gosh, you probably experience the same thing, being told, oh, we don't have the money, we don't this, we don't that. And you could hear the parents arguing. Of course, that's where all of our consciousness starts to get full of all this, because when we're innocent as kids, our parents become effectively gods to us. We don't know any better. And we just start to adopt all of that stuff. But she's been stripped bare, and she's there naked, knowing there's nothing she can do. And that whole thing about being naked before God has nothing to do with physically standing with the body, but it means to be absolutely empty of all belief, of all judgment, of all assumption, of all presumption, of all identity, of all anything. Jesus has got a thing in the Course in Miracles that says, I don't know who I am, I don't know where I am, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, I don't know why I'm here, I don't know anything. And he said that's the thing the world most doesn't want to hear. So she's getting kind of stripped down. And as she's getting stripped down, the Spirit's turning her around, is going to resurrect her.
Hi. I'd like to make an order, please. Of your linens. I'd like, just going to go to the catalog, 3 sets from the Bed Bath & Beyond Hotel collection. The ivory color, king size. A dozen of your towels, your bath towels, the softest ones you have in white, and a dozen in silver. Hi. Could I please have your 6 foot by 9 foot rug, the Mums in Silk rug, and then the Camilla Blue 12 foot by 9 foot rug, the Coney Lang. Yes, please, the delivery. Space 107. I need to order the Milo Baughman coffee table, the pair of Carl Springer lucite lamps, and the 1950s wire shades, the lantern vase from the Jonathan Antler Platinum collection, and also the thistle vase from the Relief collection on page 15. I had 5 of those, that's right. You have my card number? Okay, maybe you could store that. The card number is 9437. Yeah, next day is fine. 20, 2780. Yeah, I know it's expensive. I have the money, but I don't have the time. If you know what I mean. No, you don't know. Of course. Pizza delivery! Just a minute. Ma'am, your pie's getting cold. Okay, hang on. Don't come in, please. Just slide the box on the floor. Where's all your stuff? Still gonna have to sign for the pie. You're still gonna have to sign for the pie.
No need to tip.
Sorry, I have no cash.
Don't worry about it.
Sorry. The 62975, page 18. Yeah.
Coming, hold on.
You know, there's somebody at the door. I'm gonna call you back. Okay.
Yeah?
Parcel delivery, man.
Who?
I have some packages for you.
Great. Yeah. Just a sec. Holy cow. It's Christmas.
Just move in.
Uh-huh.
Nice. Lots of room.
Yeah. Hey. What's your name?
Me?
Yeah. What's your name?
Roscoe.
Roscoe? Really?
Is that funny?
I just never met anybody, named Roscoe.
Would you sign this, please? Melody Wilder. Never met anybody named Melody either.
It means graceful in Hawaiian.
Your parents. They're Hawaiian?
No. They're from Tonawanda, upstate.
No way. That's a freaking coincidence. My parents named me for a town in upstate New York.
Get out of here.
Serious. Roscoe, New York. That's where they met. In a diner.
Well, I'm glad my parents didn't name me Tonawanda. Tonawanda Wilder?
You got more big orders like this?
I'm ordering lots of stuff.
Well, then I'll be seeing you. Nice dress.
So we get coincidence after coincidence after coincidence. In the world we tend to call those synchronicities or chance happenings or whatever. They're synchrodestinies. There are no accidents. If you get on a truly authentic spiritual path, all the things that you need for your individual path are going to come into your awareness. You cannot miss them. They will come, whether it's a book or a teacher or a conference or coming to these movies, whatever it is, all that you're going to need is going to come in just the right way at just the right time. And I know many of you have been on your path a while, and you start to feel that flow. You start to feel that, oh my gosh, it's just like every time the right thing at the right time. And that's not to mean that your life starts to work out magically perfect like everything that the ego mind wants, but you start to get everything that you need to see what you need to see within your consciousness.
Fucking crazy bitch!
Taking the trash out of her mind. Being healed, cleaning it up.
Pizza delivery! Need a hand with that?
Sure.
You know, you could have killed somebody throwing all that shit out of the window.
Thanks. Tony?
No, it's my brother's shirt.
What does he think about that?
He probably wears my underwear when I'm not looking. My name's Cookie. Cookie Clemenza. Yours is Melanie Wilder. I've seen it on your card.
Melody. Mel.
Mel. What's the matter with your voice? I'm sorry, I don't mean to get up all in your business.
Okay. Tip is on the slip.
Thanks. Oh, the best pizza to get is the special. Dandelion greens, double cheese, and sausage. The sausage is homemade. My mom makes it.
Thanks. Thanks for that. It's a cool ring.
Oh, yeah.
Real diamond.
3 carats.
Holy Hannah.
Yeah. Oh, before I forget, we give these out for free. My dad picked out the picture. It's different photos of the Leaning Tower of Pizza. Actually, it's the same photo, but a different color background. This month it's green. All right, well, see you around.
You know, when she got those menus and she was rifling through them, something got her to stop on the pizza one. You're going to see that that's going to play a bigger role. But have you ever wondered, what is it that tends to draw your attention to one thing? You know, if you're walking through a forest or something, there's a bunch of trees. What is it that tends to draw your attention to just one? It's not a conscious thing that you do, but there's something happening very deep in your being that's orchestrating even when your head turns to make eye contact with someone. It's unimaginable, all the coordination that's going on throughout all of creation to wake God up to itself. But if you start to watch that kind of stuff, you'll really get this sense that there's so much more happening than you have conscious awareness of, and what you think you're actually making happen, you're not having a clue about. All the thoughts in your head are really commentary about what's happening automatically. When your mind gets still and you realize you can go through a day without really thinking, you'll realize that thinking is not what you think it is. It's not very important. You've all experienced this, by the way, when you drive a long distance. You get somewhere, you don't have any kind of recollection of having driven because you were thinking the whole time. What was doing all that driving? Keeping you perfectly safe the whole way. And you'll come back to awareness to slam the brake on just when you need to. That chatterbox in your mind that oftentimes, or most of us, are deeply identified with is nothing but a running commentary of what is. And if you'll look, it tends to be very much in resistance to what is.
Hi. You take credit cards? Good. I'd like to buy a guitar. Electric. Uh-huh. To deliver today? What do you recommend? Money's not really the issue. A 63 Fender Strat? Reissue? Color? Red. It's got to be red. Amps? I I don't know. My place is pretty large.
Okay.
And yeah, sounds good. Marshall, two marshals. Great.
Where do you want this?
Triple stack. Sure. Cords. I need long cords. The longer, the better. Yeah. Picks 100. Yeah, 100. Simple black strap. Wah-wah. Pedals. Pedals. Wah-wah. Humbucking. Pickup. Sure. You know, whatever's right, because I'm a beginner, so whatever I can do in 2 months. It's a long story. Card number is 9472 807 542 30599. Expiration 0909. Wilder, 295 West Street, penthouse. Yeah, I'll be here. I'm here all the time. Okay. Well, welcome. You have a nice day, too.
So she said something there that's subtle but very important. You know, this penthouse represented her turning inward. And she tells, I'm there all the time. The further you get down your spiritual path, the greater your awareness expands, the greater your capacity to witness what's happening within your consciousness. You'll go there and you'll never leave. There'll be a point at which you no longer are distracted about what's happening in the world and recognize that you don't know what you're thinking or what you're feeling or what you're experiencing. And you'll be vigilant such that no thought can cross your awareness. None. Good, bad, happy, sad, indifferent, without you witnessing it and consciously knowing that it's there. And we cultivate this, you know, Eckhart Tolle calls it the silent witness. You know, it goes by lots and lots of different names. But it's very important because that's how you learn what it is your consciousness thinks that it is and how it starts to manipulate the games that it plays. You know, it's a fascinating, absolutely fascinating thing to watch and learn how consciousness works by turning within and watching your own. You don't need to watch anyone else's. The ego keeps wanting to pull your awareness out. You know, if you get on a spiritual path like the Course in Miracles that talks an awful lot about the ego turns you into a master of seeing everyone else's, but not so much your own. But it's transcending your own that will set you free. Don't worry about anybody else's. That's their business. You're responsible for your own awareness.
Just bought a guitar.
It's great.
And then I had to get, you know, amps and stuff for the guitar. What?
You're spending money like there's no tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow. All my tomorrows are yesterday. Anyway, I'm charging it.
But when they come for the minimum due,
I'll
you're
be
gonna...
gone.
You leaving?
Yep, splitting. Splitting into atoms.
Whatever you say.
Oh, what? The customer is always right?
On this job, I see a lot of people with credit card fever. Plastic gets so hot, they stick them in the freezer just to cool them down.
You think I got a fever?
Miss Wilder.
You want to feel my forehead?
Please, sign here.
You married?
Yeah. Going on 7 years.
I was just thinking. Some girls get a whole lot.
I'm not sure my wife would agree. But thanks.
Same guitar, no coincidence.
Hello? Anybody home? Roscoe,
Hi, Ross.
did I catch you at the bad time?
I thought I got everything I ordered.
It's been a while since I delivered anything, but I thought I'd check to see that you were okay. I had a funny feeling after that little rap the other day.
Find your bag.
Oh, this? I was walking by my aunt's flower stand over on Bleecker. She gave me these. They reminded me of you.
That's your wife?
They reminded me of you.
If you come back, just come back for the moment. That's all there is.
I don't know if you could hear that. It was kind of light. She says, Roscoe, if you come back, just come back for the moment because it's all there is. In the Course in Miracles, Jesus calls this the holy instant, where you're present in the moment, where nothing in your past is guiding or affecting that moment, and you have no attachment to any perceived future anything. You've let go of the past and the future, and you're simply living in the moment with whatever is. Clearly, we've seen this as she's gone through this dream thing about coming back to the guitar, something that clearly was an inspiration she had very, very young, which got kind of poo-pooed out of her. And you see the conditioning that she got. So the Spirit's turned her within and is kind of healing all that. Because the Spirit's bringing her, whether it's variety of food or this relationship with this guy. You're going to see one in a little bit with the pizza girl. The Spirit's taking everything that she believed and kind of clearing her out and showing her a life without limit. A life in the present where she's not bound to commitment in the future. She's not taking this guy and putting a box around him and saying, you owe me this, you owe me that, none of that. She's simply living in the moment, and she's allowing the Spirit to guide her spontaneously in ways that she never would have while she was in her kind of previous life. Her previous life is what made her sick. In the Course in Miracles, and this is a tough one for the ego, there's a lesson that says, sickness is a defense against the truth. And what it's saying is, we effectively create our own sickness to, I know it sounds hard for the ego to understand, but ontologically to say, I feel so guilty about this separation that if I have this illness, maybe God will take mercy on me. But then oftentimes the ego will turn around and blame God or the world or something for the illness. But all illness is psychosomatic. When your mind is healed, and you're going to see that happen with her, sickness will be cleared out of your body. And we've seen this in the world many times. I remember seeing something online. This guy got cancer. He went and watched like Charlie Chaplin movies for 3 months, cured. Someone else watched funny stuff because they completely changed the way they thought. So they changed their vibration, they changed their energy, they changed their identity, they changed everything so that sickness could not remain in them anymore. We're going to see what happens to Mel here. But you can look within your own consciousness. Again, when this came up, I could feel it in the room. Judgments about, he's married, and I even felt it when the comments that he said, my wife doesn't think so. We've all that have been in relationships have kind of had that bone against our spouse not loving us enough, or that's all that kind of ego dance that goes on. But all the concepts we have around sexuality, that many of them were taught by the appropriateness or rightness of religion, are all conceptual. There is no judgment in divinity about anyone's sexuality. What you transcend is your attachment to it and the identification you have with it being right or wrong or good or bad or any of that kind of stuff. But she's going to play this one out too.
As you play exercise 24 and marvel at how great you sound, please remember, you learn this lead a section at a time. And don't forget that this is the secret to mastering a lead. A lead, when viewed in its entirety, looks impossible. When you break it down into small sections, it becomes manageable. That's the way you learn the 5 pentatonic pattern.
Yo, Melody. You haven't ordered in days. I thought you might be starving today.
Hold your horses. Jeez.
Are you busy?
No, it's
Am I interrupting something? Because I could go.
No. Yeah, come in.
You're looking good. Fucking A.
You're looking good too.
Yeah, I joined a gym. I haven't gone yet, but I joined. Where do you want me to put the pie?
Oh, on the rug's fine. 1 second. So who gave you the ring?
Vito.
Vito.
Katana. Vito the cat. He hates it.
Hates what?
He thinks when you call him the cat, you're dissing him. You know, it's like you're calling him a pussy.
What does Vito do?
I'm not really sure. Deals with the money.
Money.
He's connected.
Connected to what?
You know, connected. Leather couch. Fucking awesome.
Genuine.
Look at the bed. And TV? What are you watching?
Oh, I'm learning how to play guitar.
No shit.
Uh-huh.
You serious?
It's cancer.
I brought Chianti.
That's nice. I'll find some glasses.
I can't believe all the shit you got in here. What in freaking hell inspired you? Huh?
Why are you here, Cookie?
I don't know.
They speak to me. The objects.
They speak to you?
They whisper.
They whisper.
In a strange language.
What language?
The language of objects. They give me hope by whispering rumors of my redemption.
It's like poetry.
I only wish I could have collected them more slowly, individually.
But
I don't have time.
you're not.
I just don't.
You going somewhere?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
I'm leaving.
Serious, aren't you?
Yes.
Gangster.
While you're healing all your hang-ups about sex, might as well heal them all, I guess. It's important to note here that oftentimes when we get illness, the ego makes identity out of it and tells the story of the illness with almost to everybody who will listen. She's turned within and she's not made a big deal out of it. She's not focused all her attention on it to say, oh, join in my misery, I want your pity, I want your all that stuff. Feel sorry for me. We think we'll find some kind of salvation in that, but of course we never do. We end up just taking our bad feeling and sharing it with someone else. But she's just turned within, She went there thinking she's going to die, and she's dealing with her own stuff, and she's staying within.
See my ears.
Because they're beautiful.
Stop.
They're gorgeous.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Watch out, I'm ticklish.
You ever hear of a Chinese musician called Yo-Yo Ma?
What about him?
Why would somebody give their son 2 first names like that, huh?
What about John Kennedy?
Who's that?
You don't know who John Kennedy is?
Yeah, he's a president that got killed.
Never mind. So what about...
I wasn't even born.
Oh, you weren't even born.
Nah.
What about Cookie? What about the name Cookie?
It's really constant.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah.
Constance.
Constance.
Okay, I'm gonna call you Constance.
No.
From now.
Don't call me Constance.
Constance. We should get it for
Don't.
You should have a shirt with
No.
Constance on it.
No. It's Cookie to you.
Constance. I like Constance.
Yeah.
Hi, is that Gusto? Gusto. Gusto, yeah, yeah. What are your specials tonight? Artichoke. Yeah, grilled octopus I'd like very much. And the focaccia with the apples. Let's see here on the menu. And the gnocchi looks nice. Gnocchi. Okay. With the mushroom, very good. And I'd like the chicken as well, please. Heirloom chicken. I like the sound of that. And tiramisu ×2. Cappuccino maybe, bottle of Chianti. Yeah. And the cannoli dessert thing you mentioned there. Okay. It's for one person. Yes. I've never been so hungry in my life. Name is Wilder. Let's get my card.
When you turn within at first, when Jesus did the Gospel of Thomas, the very first thing in the Gospel of Thomas says, seek until you find, and when you first find, you will be deeply disturbed. But when you continue, you will be astonished, and then you will rule over the universe. When we first make that inward turn in our consciousness, we're absolutely shocked to see what's really there. It can be a very depressing kind of turn within when you realize, oh my gosh, what's going on in there that you never really knew. And of course you want it to stop, and the more you try and make it stop, the more it doesn't stop. But when you make that turn within and you stay there, and she's finding a great adventure. She's stepping out of all the boxes her egoic consciousness had put her in. If you looked at her life, remember, she was just as bland as could be. Just as plain Jane bland as can be. A life that seemed to have no life in it. And then she turns within, gets stripped bare, wash away everything that she knew, everything that she believed. The Holy Spirit starts healing her past, all those beliefs that come up in her dream, reconnecting her to the music, and starts expanding her consciousness through her adventure to try other things, whether it's all this variety of food or the variety of sex. She's kind of taken that inward adventure and finding an adventure in life itself.
Well, Anna's pretty neat. She always eats some meat. And Joey's awful strong. You bet your life is putting us on. Oh, hello? Oh, yeah. You know I need some loving. Would you touch me? John, well, I'm loving dancing. She tells me I'm loving dancing. She tells me well, don't get me wrong, I'm loving dancing. Shadow lovers clicking clean, life's a well from machine. So you're watching from the stairs, you're everyone that ever cared. Oh yeah, ooh, I need some loving.
So this whole thing about sex, which is something you're going to have to address in your consciousness, because everybody's got all kinds of hang-ups about it, or desires about it, or shoulds about it, or shouldn'ts about it, or all that stuff. I'm not suggesting you need to do what they're doing in this movie, but if you want to be free and liberated, you're going to have to accept and to extend freedom to all beings. The very nature of God, of course, is absolute freedom. There is no authority other than God. And if you can let go of, you're free to make whatever choice you want to make, but make it not out of fear, not out of guilt, not out of judgment, not out of anything else, but out of your own choice. And free all beings to do whatever they wish, with whomever they wish, however they wish. Let all that go. Because if you want to find freedom within your own being, you cast off all these identities related to your ideas and perceptions and judgments and shoulds and shouldn'ts and all that kind of stuff. You know, if you look at two innocent children, they play with each other and they play with each other's genitals just as innocently as they can, just like these three were just playing. But we lose all that innocence, not only about sexuality, but about everything. And awakening is really a return to innocence, a return to allowance, a return to acceptance, loving what is. And it's hard to do that when your own consciousness is full of all kinds of boxes and rules and judgments and condemnations and everything else. How you work through those is between you and your divine. But divinity doesn't say things have to be one way or the other. It just doesn't. That's not the way freedom is. And that's what the call of every soul, every one of you that are here on any spiritual path, your soul has gotten sufficiently enough of your attention to say, I've had enough of playing the game of lack and scarcity and separateness. I want my Christed freedom. I want to be liberated from this cycle of lack. So don't be scared to look at what your beliefs are about sexuality. Look at them with innocence. And look at why you feel the way you feel. And do you feel that way because someone told you to, or because it's your own authentic thing? And allow your inner guide, who whatever that is as it expresses through you, to look at those areas. Because I suspect there's none of us that don't have some kind of trauma or hang up or fear or guilt around sex. And all of that needs to be healed within your mind so that you can be free of that guilt or that constriction. I'm going to point this one out. Cindy pointed this out to me. I had missed it earlier. See, she's wearing a butterfly. And of course, a butterfly is used many times in spirituality about the transition from our ego, which is the caterpillar, incredibly limited, voraciously hungry, always in lack kind of thing, can't move very far at all. Something calls it to create this chrysalis and go within. If you don't know, what happens within that chrysalis is that caterpillar is absolutely, it turns to liquid. It's pulverized. I'm sure that caterpillar has no idea what's happening, the grand transformation that's happening. And that's what's happening within each and every one of you. And that happens. Love, God, the creation, the universe makes that transition happen. The caterpillar's not doing it. But when that caterpillar emerges from that chrysalis, after that transformation is complete, you couldn't recognize that beautiful butterfly was that usually pretty wonky looking caterpillar. And if you look at the degree of freedom that the butterfly has in comparison to the caterpillar, you can get a sense of what liberation is like. and how the butterfly is exponentially more free and liberated than that wonky, just eating all the time, voraciously in lack caterpillar. So it's beautiful that they put that symbol on her neck there. But oftentimes great fear comes up in us as this transformation is starting within us, and we feel like we don't have control and something else is kind of guiding us. And well, the caterpillar probably thinks, what the hell is going on? You know, when it starts dying, but it's simply being transformed so that it can be rebirthed, so that we can move from body, mind, ego identification to spirit or Christedness or God consciousness or whatever name you want to put on it.
What happened? We had a lover's spat. Spat? He wanted me to tell him who I was seeing up here. When I wouldn't, he Anyways, I finally told him, and he called me a dyke. Now, what are you doing? Hang the fuck up. But nothing. Fucking stabbed him in the cheek with a fork. Nobody calls me a dyke names with all their wisdom teeth. I told him to leave you alone, but just in case he does show up, just let it ride, okay? I like you. I do.
And Vito,
He's not all that bad. The wedding's in a few weeks. I can't invite you. You understand? Bye, Mel.
Hello, Mal. Mal.
so what's up?
Nothing. It's nothing. Well, it was just...
Roscoe, what do you want to tell me?
My wife and I have been trying to have a kid for a while. She's hearing the ticking clock, but it didn't look like it was in the cards. She was so depressed. Didn't have anything to do with me, you know? Till recently. She went to see the doctor. She's...
Congratulations.
Now here we go. She set both Cookie free and the delivery guy free. What was his name? Roscoe? You know, clearly Cookie's barreling into a pretty bad deal. The guy's already beat her and going to get married and yada yada. But Mel blesses her effectively and says, you're sovereign, you're independent, go do what you need to do. Not saying you owe me something, none of that. And same thing with Roscoe. Clearly he's feeling some kind of guilt, and she completely relieves him of that by freeing him. And that's what you do in awakening and enlightenment. You free all beings to be what they are. When you understand every one of you is God, and that's what you are, you're not in a position to say to another God, hey, you got it all wrong. All beings are free. You're each absolutely sovereign, even in your egoic identification. You're making that choice from your sovereignty, from your divinity. You couldn't actually do it any other way. And it's extraordinary when you can set beings free. When you can let them tell you what they need to tell you and alleviate the guilt and the burden and all the fear that they have about simply being honest. You heard her say, what do you got to say? It's okay, just come. It's safe here. You're not going to be judged. You don't owe anything. You know, the whole reciprocity and codependency disappears when you become everything. And then all you want to do is bless every being and do all you can to free them from the egoic mind prison that they seem to be playing in.
You bet.
Remember, she got to this inner place, seemed like a void of emptiness. She's stripped bare, she's there naked. All the things that she starts to get originally were all white, signifying the purification. But as the Spirit starts to birth expression of creativity through her, look at all the color, all the life that is being expressed through her. Gone is the sterileness, gone is the old dodgy. There's a thirst and a passion and a joy about life that is expressing through her, and she's allowing that to happen.
Hey, Blue Hill? Daniel? It's Mel Wilder here. Yeah, I'm starved. I would like to order the salmon steak, country salad, broiled salmon, a red wine, a Merlot. Yeah, use my card. Add a $10 tip, of course. Thanks. Hello? Daniel. Okay. I don't know why, because there should be 6,000 in there. I'm going to give you another one. Take my Vista Bank. 8532-0843-6421-8049. Expiration 0908. Yeah, it's going to be fine. Oh, this is strange, but I'll give you another card if you don't mind. My mission bank I have here is ready for the number. Okay, 807-5310-0024-0837, and the expiration is 1109. Okay, no, I'm going to shoot for one more. 'Cause third time lucky, right? Fourth time lucky. It's I'll give you the Vista Bank. It's ATM card. It's 8532-0843-6421-8049. That's expiration 0709. Daniel, what day is it? What month?
That's what presence will do for you. When you live in the moment, I mean, it's not unusual. I have to ask Cindy what day of the week it is. Just life takes on a whole new thing because it's just in the moment. It's just present. Gone is the mind trying to create some euphoric future with a dream or a projection, and gone is messing around with the past, because all of creation, all the love that has ever been and will ever be is all right here, right now. There was not less of it in the past or more if you think you missed it, nor will there be any more or less in the future. Every bit of the universe is present right here, right now. And you can live in that moment and do so with great joy and great effortlessness and great ease, to the extent that you can let go of fear that you think there's something you need from your past or that you want to try and control the future. So I don't know how long it's been. We'll see here in a minute. But she's been so present, healing and living by staying within, that she has no idea how much time has passed. And some of you probably experience that in meditation. When you hit a sweet spot, just the whole sense of time disappears. And there's just presence. You've all had that when you've been in the zone, or I think that's what athletes call it. Artists call it being in the flow. When you're shocked at how much or how little time has passed. You know, you all remember looking at the clock in school and your last hour, it seemed to take days, kind of thing. But time is very fluid in an experiential state like that. But when you wake up out of kind of the need for time anymore and things having to be linear, there's great, great peace in that.
Uh,
Ah. 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 Ah.
So here she's finally ventured out after this deep time of healing and coming to life within. And I know several of you here have recently had some pretty big shifts in awakening, and you can relate to this sense of the world takes on a very different feel. It's a very different experience. In the Course in Miracles, Jesus calls it the real world. But the world itself, it's almost impossible to describe, but it has a different texture, a different feel, a different vibration. There's so much life in everything. The subtlest wind across your face can be an orchestra of the whole universe singing a love song to you. Not in a mind way, not in thought, but in this deeply, deeply experiential way. And everything is like that. And the world takes on just this magnificence, a shimmering radiance to it. Everything does. Animate, inanimate, pretty, what we would have before called ugly. I was out at the landfill today, and I saw nothing but love, nothing but the universe giving all of itself in yet another expression of being. There was nothing bad about it or wrong about it, no judgments about, all the stuff that we have all these deeply held concepts about. There's just magnificent beauty and mystery expressing itself in a landfill. And you can have that same joy whether it's a landfill or a field of lilies. It's the same mystery in various different expressions. And it doesn't take long. You don't need to look but in this room to already see and perceive almost what seems like an infinite amount of expression. And if you notice, every bit of it is giving itself to you completely. Nothing is hidden except the consciousness of humanity. Everything else in this room is giving itself to you fully. Are you fully present with the gift that it's giving you?
Hi, I'd like to see Dr. Murray, please.
Name?
Wilder, Melody.
Do you have an appointment, Miss Wilder?
I think she's going to want to see me.
She'll be with you in just a minute. What's up? What Dr. August was saying and what we are all saying is that the tumor's gone. What? How could you do this to me? We didn't do anything. The question is, what did you do? Do? What did you change in your life? What did you change? What habits? Your diet? Anything? What did I change? I changed everything. I've heard of something similar, a type of remission wherein the person changes so much that the tumor no longer recognizes the body as host.
Medically, scientifically speaking, there is no explanation. Statistically, you're 1 in a million, billion.
Melody, you don't have cancer.
ओ पैन दी टक्की दिमाग खराब हो गया क्या? मरना कहीं और जाके मर. मेरी गाड़ी आके मर रही है. क्या कहीं और मर? Crazy New Yorker. Wake up!
But I think all in all, it's been... I'm sorry, would you excuse me, please? 1 second. Miss Wilder! Miss Wilder! I've been trying to reach you.
Here I am.
You were supposed to be out of here in 2 months.
Yeah.
That was our deal.
I know.
It's 3 months now.
I'll get you the money.
You don't understand. The reason we did a short-term lease is because I'm in the process of selling the building. Now, these people seem very interested, okay? But I gotta get inside and show the loft. I need you to vacate.
Can you just give me a couple more weeks? Please. I swear I'll be out. It's just, I didn't count on...
What? You didn't count on what?
I didn't count on being alive.
Well, I suppose I could use the security deposit as this month's rent. But then you're gonna have to be out, okay?
In the Way of Mastery, Jesus has a beautiful discourse where he says, the self that begins the spiritual journey will not be the self that ends it. Everything about your being will be transformed. And our ego doesn't like that often. It wants to change what it wants to change and not what it doesn't want to change. But I can assure you that you give up absolutely nothing. You give up an identity rooted in lack and scarcity and body and death, and to awaken into your eternal spirit, if you will. And be willing to let go of that identity that you think you are. And that's all it is an identity composed only of thought-based being. Because the self that ends the journey will be the self that you will be throughout all eternity. And you won't miss that frightened, little, needy, clingy, frightened, scared, opinionated, body, mind, certainly going to die self that you thought you were. And I'm not knocking it. We all came here to play that game. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing bad about it. But everything about you will change in awakening, and even more so in enlightenment.
my soul within the house. I cannot live with you, it would be life. And life is over there behind the door. I could not die with you. For one must wait to shut the other's gaze down. I cannot live with you. It would be life. And life is over there, behind the door.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
What's up?
How much will you give me for this?
$50.
50 bucks?
Yeah.
I paid $425 for this.
Listen, my mommy didn't love me either. $50. It's not that great.
Fine.
All right.
But what about this?
$20 in that.
This is a very fancy chair.
It's all right.
Okay. Jeez Louise.
Billy? So what do you think?
$30.
Miss Wilder. Miss Wilder, I know you're in there. You need to read this.
I mentioned earlier that the nature of God, the nature of the universe is expression, creative expression. And it was birthed in her at a very young age, kind of what her expression was. But it got poo-pooed and put away. But in this time of this inner journey, she reconnected with the self that she is, the greater self that wants to express through her. And in her case, it's music. In my case, it may be doing this work. The universe is going to express something through you, and it's absolutely unique. Wipe your mind clean of what you think creative is, because you may have concepts about it being art, or it being music, or it being something creative. Creativity can be in being an undertaker or a lawyer. There's nothing more or less spiritual about anything than anything else. But there's something within you that has always been there, that is ready to be birthed, that is ready to be the expression of all that is in the unique and absolutely perfect way that is you. You as that facet of creation, of God, whatever that self is. So one of the things the ego does is it suppresses our desires. It suppresses the things we want. It tells us, no, we shouldn't do that, we can't do that. It gives us all the reasons. What if for a little while, a month, you just let those arise, and every day you wrote them down? And over the course of the month, by the time you get to the end of the month, what seems to have been a pattern, or what seems to still be there when other things have fallen away? The Spirit will guide you to what that expression for you is. I will at the end, okay? So, allow love to begin to inform you, to begin to bring you into the unique expression. And don't put any limits on it. Don't put any constraints on it. Let it be given. In the Course in Miracles, Jesus says that, and certainly my experience, I know a couple of you here in the room have also experienced this, that when we have big shifts, we can have periods of disorientation because all of a sudden you're not the person you were. You're not aligned with that consciousness any longer. And there can be a period of awkwardness as you learn anew how to interact with a world that is now different than what you thought it was, from a different place of consciousness, from a different groundedness of being. And that's kind of what she's experiencing here. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't really know what to do. But you're going to see the Spirit's going to continue to guide her and put everything in her hands that she needs and arrange all the situations and circumstances to bring her into the full expression of her being.
And so is offered, in these optimistic, though viral times, a souvenir of another time, with this added prayer. In art and dream, may you proceed with abandon. In life, may you proceed with balance and stealth.
Hi, girl. What's up?
Hi.
Oh, yeah, well, you're making coin.
Nickels and dimes.
I think you've got a few quarters in there, haven't you? Oh, no, I'm just funning you. I'm just funning you. All right. Oh, listen, babe, why don't you plug it in my amp? You all right? There you go. Oh, no, I'm just going to run over the old Rasta dude, squash the dime bag. I'll be right back. We can roll us a fatty, we'll fire up, we can jam, yeah? All right?
You know,
I
don't think so. Wait, mister?
Fuck off. Hey! All right.
I'm getting tired and the blues still hanging on me. I took tomorrow while I have no one to follow. I waited all this time, but I'm on your side. Hey. You gotta move and keep your eyes on something moving. Out in the mood to sing a sad song. I need to let you know that I'm on your side. Hey, I wanna take a dive with you. I need to take a dive with you. I wanna take a dive with you. Yeah, I wish that I could dive with you, yeah, yeah. But take a dive, yeah, yeah. Take a dive, yeah, yeah. Take a dive, yeah, yeah. Take a dive. Been around for a long time in the shadow. I've been thinking about the daytime in the hollow. I need to let you know I'm on your side. Hey.
God is on your side. The universe is on your side. The universe is the most loving and benevolent creation. And it is supporting you in ways that you just can't imagine. And it's supporting you to wake up. That's not to say the ego is going to get everything it wants and it's going to go the way the ego wants it to go. But you can ask anyone who's awoken, nobody cares about what seemed to have gone on before. It just doesn't matter anymore. Love will bring you home if you'll allow it and know that love is on your side. What a great movie. Was that fun or what? So you saw how she turned within, stripped bare, pretty much surrendered everything that she thought she was. Nothing that she had ever known or experienced or thought or understood was going to correct this problem that she had with this terminal diagnosis. So she went within, and immediately, the Spirit was guiding her to go within, and then started getting her to look at all her limitations and getting her to start to step outside of them and let go of all the limitations, all the fear, and then started to birth within her expression of divinity as her as a person. And each of you have that. The universe is itching to express itself in your way through what you are as the Christ in form. It probably won't look like what you thought you were before. There's very little about John Mark that's anything like what John Mark was before. If it's true, if it's love, it'll stay. If it was fear and ego and all that stuff, it's going to get washed out. And you won't miss it, I promise. The people around you may miss it for a while because they were addicted to it as you were, but they'll come to love the love that takes its place. So does anyone have any questions tonight before we wrap up? Hold on a second, Karen.
I just didn't understand. Remember you told me you'll say it afterwards because I
was talking about allowing desire to arise up within you. If you took 30 days and you just ask the question, what is it I desire most? And just let it come. Just start writing it down, whatever it is. And you'll find that at the first, it's going to be a really long list. And just keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. By the end of 30 days or 60 days, you're going to see that there's a pattern. There's something there that's trying to reach out to you.
it always seems to be different things. One day it's I want to be an artist. I want to be a writer. I want to be a public speaker.
Well, that's why I'm saying do it for a long period of time, because on any one day it could be a whole circus of stuff.
Just write down everything that day that really gets exciting.
Sure, and then at the end of 30 days or 60 days, kind of look. The list will be smaller, and there'll be some nugget of truth in it, and you'll feel it. You'll know it. It's been in you on some level your whole life.
But those patterns.
It just hasn't had its full opportunity for expression. You know, and a couple of folks here working with one of Jesus' other texts called The Course of Love. He talks about going to the mountaintop, awakening, and then coming back into life. Not to be different, not to be in a cave, not to be unusual or special, but to come back and live. You see, Mel wasn't living in this movie. She was dying the whole time of her being. And when we're egoically identified, that's really what we're doing. We're not living, we're dying. Because we know physical death is coming. But when you awaken in the Spirit, you will live in a way that you have never lived before, because you'll begin that eternal journey of beingness, and you'll know that the only thing spread before you is absolutely limitless possibilities. And it's a matter of, well, what is it now in this moment? Whether it's eating a meal or loading the dishwasher, you'll see mystery and joy and majesty in the most mundane of things, because they're divine in those expressions. Anyone else? I do this work in conjunction with a whole lot of beings, embodied and unembodied. And I am grateful to them and to you. And you each have more help than you'll understand until you see it. And then you'll just be amazed at how the universe has been pressing itself upon you, pressing miracles into your consciousness your whole life. Your whole life. At some point, you'll look back and see the perfection of every splinter, every stub toe, every broken heart, every broken bone, the whole bit of it. But we love you with an absolutely infinite love and a perfect, perfect peace. And there is absolutely no doubt in God about your awakening. There is no uncertainty there. If you're feeling that and expressing it or experiencing it, it's okay. But it's really easy to know that doubt is only of ego. It has nothing to do with your divinity, nothing to do with your Christedness. So discernment's easy at that point. You can give all doubt, all suspicion, all wonder, give all that away, because it has nothing to do with what you are in truth. Please, if I could get hugs on the way out, I'll do announcements. Oh, you got a question?
Just one thing, John Mark. Thank you so much for the show tonight. I need to tell a story about a wicked little pest out in the west coast here. They call the western spruce budworm. And the image that here you pointed out to us of the chrysalis turning into the butterfly. I locked myself up in a hotel room one time and wrote an environmental impact statement for control of the western spruce budworm. It goes through 7 different instars before it becomes this ugly little moth. But it goes through all of these phases. And I had this Chekhovian dream here where I became each of the end stages of the western spruce budworm turning into the moth. And I saw things differently in every one of the phases. And thank you for bringing that back with this movie tonight and your mention of that butterfly. That's truly, the transformation is a golden gift. Thank you.
You're welcome. You know, that butterfly doesn't regret having been a caterpillar. You won't regret that you were egoically identified. There won't be anything wrong with it. You will have enjoyed that you played that game. And you will be grateful for all the other beings who co-conspired with you to have the experience that you had, whether it was happy or sad or good or bad or whatever. And then you'll engage with them to play a new game, a game of divinity, a game of allowance, a game of acceptance, a game of love, a game of non-judgment. It won't be a game anymore. It'll be what you'll be playing for eternity. But nonetheless, let me do announcements real quick. For those of you who will watch on download or whatever, you can give a love offering if you go to the onewhowakes.org website. In the upper right-hand corner is a little button, a yellow button that has a heart and says Give. You can click there and give a PayPal donation. Those of you who are here in person, there's a basket on the other side of the fireplace. If you're so moved for having come enjoy waking up to the movies, please give a love offering. I'm really excited about this. I was guided to start on February 12th a group here in my home every Tuesday at 7 o'clock around the Way of Mastery. You've heard me mention many of Jesus' channeled works. There's the Course in Miracles, there's the Course of Love, there's the Way of Mastery, there's this current Christ consciousness expression that's happening currently called I Am the Word, that series of work. So the universe is bombarding the earth and creation and humanity with all kinds of tools to wake up. But the Way of Mastery, for me, was by far the most intimate of all of Jesus' stuff because it was channeled through a guy and it's all recorded on audio. So you hear Jesus' voice. You hear it's powerful stuff. You hear his inflection. You get a sense of his humor. He answers questions. It's like a direct encounter with him. It's powerful stuff. But nonetheless, I'll be doing an experience group here with that starting on the 12th, February 12th at 7 o'clock. If anybody's interested in that, I got more info on that work. But I'll share more about that pathway. And it's not, if you're studying something else, it's not that you have to drop anything else. If you're doing any if you're doing anything, I mean, it is Christ consciousness. Whether it's Jesus or it's the oneness movement, it's all coming from one source. It may use different terminology, and if different terminology works for you, great. It doesn't matter what stream you arrive in the ocean. The ocean just says, welcome.